It is time for your Windy City Savage. The cream of the crop has arrived. Go ahead, go introduce yourself, co-host.
Y'all know what time is it, ladies and gentlemen. It's me, the Pointed Man SG3. Welcome to the wrestling, WCS, whatever, man. You know what it is. Go ahead.
Yep. WCS.
Well,
Come on,
out
man.
there. Come on.
Anyways, let's get started. Let's get back into my voice. Alrighty, guys. And with that being said, let's go down with your Raw review for tonight. All right, we started off with a couple of people heading towards their way, like always, with their coffee, their baggage, the same old bullshit. But we had some interesting couple of people showing up, and that is CM Punk meeting A. But it doesn't matter with the cameras. As they're going their way, they meet AJ Lee, but behind AJ Lee is Becky Lynch. Alrighty, and when she sees AJ Lee right in front of her, she's not happy, bro. Not at all.
Not at all.
So with that being said, Becky Lynch makes her way into the ring and starts cutting a promo, obviously against AJ Lee, which that makes AJ Lee come out with a good crowd reaction along the way to the ring. And off we go with the promo battles between AJ Lee and Becky Lynch. And with that being said, basically, the whole plot of this is that AJ Lee wants, well, at first, AJ's like, well, what did I do to you? Besides beat you at WrestlePalooza, beat you in Survivor Series, and also cost you your title against Maxine.
Yep.
So with that being said, Becky and AJ looks like they're set up to face at Chamber for the title. It's kind of dumb though. This whole promo was kind of so put it this way.
Becky's doing some good work though.
I don't know.
Even though she was like spazzing a little bit, she was doing some good work.
I'm sorry, dude. Like between her and overreacting towards that promo and trying to like act crazy, I just don't even find it believable. I felt really forced from her. AJ did all right with their classic promos, but this is basically for the Intercontinental Champion. Since they say that AJ Lee beats Becky already a couple of times, she deserves a title shot for this. There's no other way direction to this goes, so this makes sense in a way. Not against it, so in a way I like it. Not the best promo between these two that I thought we were gonna have.
No,
but hey, with an opening of Raw, what can we say? You know,
especially without the Vision.
Without the Vision, I'd rather take this than take the Vision opening up Raw any day. So we got Becky versus AJ confirmed for the title. What do you think overall with this?
I like it. First match already officially set for the card aside from the Elimination Chambers. I like it, man. It's gonna look nice. Now, you know, do you prefer this over? Okay, well, sorry. Question to you is, do you see AJ winning the title at Chamber?
No, I don't think so. I don't know. Because it just seems it was pretty easy because Becky Lynch was first against it until Lee was like, all right, then I guess I'll just leave. And then all of a sudden, well, no, wait. I'll just give you that title shot. So it's like, it was quick. It was reactive with Becky. Don't you think Becky might have something up her sleeve that she might take against AJ Lee? Or do you think AJ finally retains gold? My thing is this, though. We haven't seen AJ for quite a while, and it's another thing with the part-timers. Nothing against AJ, but it's like we have another part-timer come back, and is she really going to wrestle every week?
No.
Or is she going to be a part-timer, take the title, and leave?
Basically.
I don't like it. I don't want it. I actually want Becky to retain if that's the case.
Yep.
It's not that I see AJ Lee winning, because I think they might actually pull the trigger on that. I just don't want to see it, honestly. But if that's the case, I feel like Becky has some outside help. But that's the thing, from who? She has made more enemies than she made friends over the years. So who's left out there to really help her?
Excited, maybe.
Maybe Natty.
I can see Maxine coming in to like help out AJ. And Natty coming in kind of, you know.
I can see more Natty coming out first.
Yeah.
And then Maxine. But either way, it's not enough to fend off Becky and an improved Natty from the Indies.
Yep.
fighting off AJ and Maxine. And overall, I feel like that would cost AJ Lee the title opportunity there, which I'm not against. I'm all for it. I like to see it happen. So hey, bring it on. If that's the case, bring it on. And after that, we did get an entrance, and that is the Usos coming down the ring. So look, here's the weird part about all this. The Usos won the championship.
Yep.
Haven't really defended.
Nope.
Not only that, but they come their way down the ring, and if you hear the theme song, it's still Jay theme song.
Yep.
So it's still me, Oos, Day One, which is kind of odd when they already have their theme song set to both of them coming out, but all of a sudden he comes out by himself. So that was kind of weird. So they face off against Alpha Academy.
Yep.
All right, the number one contenders against them. So this match was not bad, not good. The Usos felt a little bit off throughout the match, and I don't know what happened there, but it just felt like they were gassed out.
Which is weird from Jimmy.
Well, it's weird from Jimmy, but then again, think about this. Jimmy's been off TV for quite a while, and with dealing with Naomi's pregnancy and stuff, I'm sure he's a little nervous, a little gassed out of his own. And Jay, overall, this is kind of what we expect from him. They haven't tag teamed in quite a while, so yeah, they were just a little bit off. But the one that stole the show tonight was Tosawa.
Yeah.
And his movesets. And he even gave a little nod to Jay and said, let's run it back with the suicide dive. Bam, bam. One over here, one over there, one over here, one over there. Run it back. Boom, 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 boom. I kind of liked it. It was a decent match. Not the best match. It was an okay match. And then from there, basically,
Give Tozawa his flowers, bro.
Yeah, I mean, but what can you expect, man? The man hasn't done much. He has to show out when he can. So overall, not a bad thing, man. What do you think overall? Oh, by the way, we did have the Usos winning.
Yep.
So we did get a double spear on Otis.
And then the 1D.
And then the 1D to set up the win. So overall, what do you think?
I mean, listen, I'm gonna tell you, give Tozawa his flowers. The guy may not be on TV a lot. He may have been a joke for the longest of times with WWE.
It's not that he's a joke. It's just that they make him a joke.
That's what I'm saying. WWE made him a joke.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. WWE made him a joke.
You said he's a joke. No. It's not that he's a joke. WWE makes him a joke. It's not that R-Truth is a joke. WWE makes him a joke.
And that's why, like, for me, dude, when I first saw this guy coming out, I was super excited because he honestly, he was amazing, and he still is amazing. I like the fact that he's like, you know what, I'm taking these moments to really show my craft and show the fact that I still got it. I can still make crowds pop. I can still, put on the show. I'm not just here for the comedic little moments of the ruffle shuffle.
Right. So look, man. Overall, I thought it was okay. We did get a promo afterwards, and that promo with Byron Saxton, by the way, that was wearing the same suit as Corey Graves, apparently. I don't think that was on purpose. That was accidental. So they asked the Usos, what's next? Jimmy took the mic and said, look, what's next is we want to see main event Jey Uso back in the ring heading his road to WrestleMania. So you would think they would open up maybe like, hey, you know what? There's a lot of good tag team division out here, or trying to put over the next tag team. But instead, I think they realized we don't have any good tag teams on Raw right now. No. I mean, for God's sakes, the Viking Raiders just got squashed.
Literally.
And the Alpha Academy's there, and there's just not that much options here. So it looks like they're going back to the main event scene.
I think right now that makes sense because Naomi should be having the baby by now.
Yeah, but it's like, okay, if that's the case, why have Jay hold on to the title still? At some point, drop him, put him over. It's like this whole thing with Dominic Mysterio. He cannot wrestle. He's injured. Why not just drop it, let it go? And, I get it. He's popular and stuff, but it just holds these, titles hostage, and it doesn't help elevate the next talent over. You're not really using these people so much on the ring. You're just holding these titles hostage, and it's not going to work out in the long run. I think everybody suffers this way. And this is their whole repeat, is that most champions don't fight off their titles. They don't really defend it every week. And it's getting ridiculous. The only guy I see defending it most of the time is Becky and CM Punk. And most of the other titles are not as defended as much as possible. So I don't know, man. I just don't like it. I don't mind Jay going back to the main event since Jimmy is away, but at some point, it should. Sorry about that, guys. Technical difficulties. We're back once again. So yes, regardless, I don't mind Jay Uso going back to the main event. It makes more sense now that Jimmy is going away for quite a while because Naomi's probably due any minute now. But I get it. I don't like to see it, obviously, just because main event Jey Uso's not as much as entertaining as he used to be. To me, he's falling off. He gets gassed out. But look, this is the direction it's heading. He sells merch. He does sell merch. So in the end of the day, what can we do, right? It's just the direction they're going to, whether we like it or not. Look, so put it this way. On to the next segment. Liv and Dom heads to the ring.
Yep.
All righty. They get in the ring. They're happy. Before Liv can say anything, Dominic Mysterio reminds everybody it is Valentine's Day. So he brings out flowers and chocolate for Liv Morgan. Nice gesture. Nice gesture. It was kind of nice to see feel good moment, right? Even for heels. But regardless, you already know why Liv is here.
Yeah.
Liv is here because she still hasn't chosen who she wants to face for that title at Mania. It's either we have Jade Cargill on one side or Stephanie Vaquer on the other side. I don't know who she's going to pick, man. You never know. But it's looking like Stephanie because onward, Stephanie comes out, cuts a promo in Spanish, and Liv's like, Dom, what did she say? And Dom is like, I don't want to repeat that, but I got you, babe. Starts cutting his promo in Spanish, and then Liv is like, what are you saying? And then Stephanie comes out. He said that he's a little bitch. And I got a good crowd reaction. I thought that was hilarious. But then Liv's like, you know what? I know he didn't say that. I know Spanish enough that he didn't say that about himself. And then towards the end, we did got the Spanish equivalent of that from Liv Morgan onto Stephanie Vaquer, which got Stephanie Vaquer really heated. And instead of slapping Liv, she slaps Dominic Mysterio for Dominic to fall down hard. This segment was all right. I don't know. I felt like they could do more. I just don't understand why they don't try to push it more a little bit, like more fighting in the ring. It just seems the promo's like outside of the ring, and it just seems like they don't want to push Stephanie too far into it. I thought she did great in the beginning. I felt like this whole night, it felt a little short. Like it wasn't bad, but it wasn't good.
Not rushed.
Yeah, it felt short. It felt like everything was like missing something. It's like, you know, when you ever make food and just you feel like there's a missing ingredient there. This whole segment felt that way. Like it was close to being good, but yet it still missed a little bit of the ingredients, the secret ingredient to make it a successful promo. But regardless, you know, it looks like Liv Morgan might face Stephanie Vaquer at Mania, which leaves Raquel still open in this whole feud going on. What directions it leads to, we don't know. We'll find out probably by next week even more. But yeah, that ends the promo there. Overall, what you think?
I like that. You know what? I wish it would have done something like they did on SmackDown.
Yeah.
Where was the match? Where was Jordan Grace and Jade Cargill versus Raquel and Liv?
Mm-hmm.
That would be nice. I like a nice little match, a quick little match, 3, 4, 5 minute match, whatever it is. Because again, you're not watching either one of them. Whatever happens is cool. Whatever, you know, keep going forward. You can build that tension for Judgment Day as they did the week before. Start building Judgment Day or building a chemistry. One of the two actually happens. If you're gonna make this a triple threat, the way you do it is you start building off the hatred machine for them.
Okay, yeah. So look, man. With that being said, on to the next segment, and that is Rhea, Ivy Nile, and Lyra all in a triple threat match for a qualifier at the Chamber.
Yep.
Alrighty, look, this match was not bad. Not bad match. I liked it. So right away we got a fast-paced match, and we started off Ivy looking strong.
Yeah.
Going for the attack, looking strong, attacking both women, trying to put them down and trying to pick up a quick win. But, you know, we got a little back and forth, a little triple threat match action. Not bad. Most of these Chamber qualifying matches are triple threat.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know why. It just doesn't make sense. I miss the old singles matches.
Yeah.
Look, once in a while for a triple threat, let's say, let's put it this way real quick. Let's say we want to build storyline. And we got a bunch of singles matches, but look, we're still missing that one person, but everybody wants to get in it. That's when it has to be Wi-Fi. There's nothing else. Something about this shit. Sorry about that, technical difficulties. So regardless, look, it started off strong. Look, there was a big bout of the night, and that was from Ivy. So what happened was this: Rhea Ripley sets up Lyra on top of her shoulders, and she turns her back, and it looks like Lyra went to the top rope, and it looks like she's gonna hit like a flying crossbody bulldog, but it looks like she missed her cue. And so at that point, Rhea dropped Lyra down to the mat, and then we see Ivy just fly. No, just cut it short, for you. I'm saying, like I'm talking. So let's put it this way: she missed the bouch. I don't know how I feel about that. Look, it happens. I'm not gonna put it against her, but it just looked really bad on TV. Yeah. So look, I hope WWE doesn't punish her, but look, it happens. Regardless,
she's still a rookie.
Yeah, she's still. I don't want to say she's a rookie. She's been on the game for quite a while. So regardless about this, Lyra hits Ivy with the night ring, right? But only to have Rhea break it up, interfere, hit her Lyra with the riptide.
Yep.
Seals the win, and on we go to the chamber.
Yep.
Rhea Ripley's in there. I think she's probably going to be one of the favorites to win the chamber this year. I just feel like it's going to happen because I feel like they always go to the same.
So it's 8 people every year.
Every year, and I think Rhea Ripley's going to be one of them. So I got no issue with that. What about you?
To win it?
Well, this whole match is up.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to put in Rhea because, she's an enforcer. She's a brute. So it's like, you can build off of that.
All right.
You can definitely go ahead and do something like, let's put in Alexa, put in Raquel. That'd be a good final match. Raquel versus Rhea. Who's actually the real powerhouse in WWE?
Right, exactly. All right, so let's put it this way. On to the next segment, and that is Judgment Day. Got a little Judgment Day issue going along.
Yep.
So we got Dirty Dom still feeling the effect of that slap. And then Liv's like, look, you should go talk to Finn over there. And then talks to Finn and he'd be like, look, man, I think you should put it past you of this whole going after Punk. And Finn is like, why is everybody sleeping on me? Like, I feel like everybody's cutting me short after what I did basically to CM Punk. And well, Dom says, look, it's not that. It's just that your window's getting really short now that we have Punk versus Roman Reigns at Mania. And obviously, Balor doesn't feel too happy about that and mentions, like, Dom, we're supposed to be family here. Why is everybody always doubting me? And so he leaves. And this whole segment still leaves the door open of a possible breakup that we've been having for quite a while that yet hasn't reached its breaking point. So I'm not going to look into this segment because every time we get a little tease, we get a couple of weeks left onto when they're actually going to break up. We got a comment real quick.
Nick responds with, Bron got hurt before he left the table.
Well, that is the theory. They're saying that he did get hurt. Some people are speculating that he got hurt actually before the whole segment of that Monday Night Raw, that it might be somewhere in training that he got hurt, and it might not have been that table lift, but they're going with that theory just because,
it happened on camera.
Yeah, it happened on camera. So, I mean, we did get a couple of segments where Paul Heyman did mention that Adam Pearce got him all wild up, that he went to go deadlift and hit a PR, that he ended up, causing him to get a hernia.
Yep.
So it could have been that, actually. Not saying that Adam Pearce did it, but obviously he himself did it to himself while training. Braun got hurt before he,
if he got hurt lifting the table, then those tables need to be lighter.
I mean, those are some heavy-ass tables. They really
at this
are.
point, though, maybe he didn't think about how heavy it was. That's what he did get hurt during the table, but you see like some items like when you lift, you're like, oh, dude, that doesn't look so heavy. You go lift, you're like, holy shit. And I think that's what happened with him. So it's like, because I thought he did it, he stops himself and he goes back to lift it again. So I feel like on the first lift, that was a botch. where he actually drops it.
Mm-hmm.
I think he actually got hurt on that one because he didn't think it was going to be that. He didn't think it was going to be that heavy.
I think he might have gotten it hurt there too, or he might have gotten it before, and it was just the whole buildup. Maybe he was already running weak.
Yeah.
And then eventually his whole table spot pretty much killed him at that point. He should have asked Brock Lesnar for some tips to flip over the table successfully.
That's true.
Yeah, or to basically flip over a ring.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he's a certified driver, forklift driver. So, I mean, always ask Brock Lesnar for some good tips for any big man out there.
Brock, we'll see you around.
So, on to the next segment. We had a Michael Cole segment to bring out CM Punk. But before we got all that, we got Balor into the ring calling out CM Punk and saying this is bullshit that we got Roman versus Punk and that Roman is only facing out CM Punk because Balor injured CM Punk to the point that he's a wounded dog. That's what he said, by the way. And that he's going after the kill once, Punk is already, all beat up at this point.
Yeah.
And called out Reigns, called out Punk, onto Punk coming out to the ring, where right away when he comes out, we got Balor rolling his ass out of the ring, getting away from Punk. And at that point, CM Punk gets angry, calling out Balor to come back inside the ring, face me like a man if you are one, onto Adam Pearce coming out angry. I feel bad for Adam Pearce lately,
Yeah.
He can't control his own roster. I mean, Nick Aldis not doing so well, but I feel like Adam Pearce has the worst of it.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. So, an angry Adam Pearce comes out, and CM Punk wants his match. But Adam Pearce says, no, we're not getting no titles match tonight. So the crowd boos, right? And then Punk says, look, if you, as a champion, you're going to treat me with some damn, respect.
Yep.
And what I want is what I get. If not, I'm going to kick everybody's teeth out from all your security. And at that point, it arranged Punk and it arranged Balor where they both wanted a match tonight for the title because Balor's like, I'm not just going to go in the ring for no reason. I want that title on the line. So Punk agreed, Balor agreed, Pierce agreed as well, but for a match at Chamber.
Yeah.
So that's official. Since Roman's not going to be here, he's not going to show up. We already knew that.
Yeah.
We do have Punk segment with Balor to fill in for the meantime before we get from Punk all the way to Roman Reigns to WrestleMania. For the meantime, a little filter to keep us entertained. Do I think Balor has a chance against Punk?
I wish.
Hell no.
I wish.
No chance in hell, like Vince used to say. But look, I can't complain. Their last match was pretty good, so if we could get a match close to that, no complaints here. We have to have a filter to fill us up, before WrestleMania. We got a couple of comments, SG3.
Adam Pearce has used anger to control the superstars. Should have made the match a good old Chicago street fight.
I mean, what city were they? Oh, wait, we're talking about the stipulation for Chamber?
Yeah.
That actually wouldn't be a bad idea. I like that. Chicago street fight, I'm all up for it. Who knows? Probably next week. We could get a little segment where they go at it again, and then they make it a Chicago street fight. Because WWE likes to name their
strips
based on the city.
Based on the city that they're in.
That is true, actually, because last time we had a Philadelphia street fight.
Yep.
Yeah, so every city they're at, they like to name their stipulations that way. So the segment wasn't bad. I liked it. What about you? What do you think?
I liked it, man. And you know what? And I'm agree with both you and Nick. I think she could make a good old Chicago street fight. Or even better, maybe like a steel cage, something like that. But they're not going to do it because it's Chamber, hardcore match, something like that.
Yeah, I like the direction they're going to. And I also like this direction. Natty Neidhart comes her way into the ring. The new theme song sounds more badass.
Yeah.
Obviously, she's bringing out that Natty Neidhart gimmick, which makes her look more badass. On she goes to face off Maxine to basically end her. And this match got started, and right away, Maxine came aggressive, put that ankle lock down, tried to make her tap out. Didn't work. They took it away all the way to the outside of the ring, onto the announce table where Natty put Maxine through. Tried to break it, but it wouldn't break. That heavy-ass table won't break that easily. So Natty says, you know what? I'm just going to get on top of you and start punching you and beating you down. The ref didn't like that. So for some reason, I don't remember hearing a 10 count. But I also heard the ref saying, cut it out. So next thing you know, bam. That's it. It's over. We hear a ring bell, and we also see that Natty still keeps going to an image where Natty locks in that sharpshooter on the announce table, which looked nice to me. Looks perfect. I like the direction that this is going. On to AJ Lee saving Maxine, her friend that she came to watch tonight. Scared away Natty a little bit. She went away. AJ tried to help Maxine out, only for Becky Lynch to come from behind and attack AJ Lee, because we already knew this receipt was going to come tonight. So regardless, I like this. I like the direction Natty's going, and I want to see more of it. Another comment?
I've noticed on the roster, because you know, like quite like CM Punk, he's actually angry. Peak Natty, LOL.
So yeah, peak Natty, man. Honestly, this is the best we've seen Natty in quite a while, and I'm enjoying it.
I am too.
Yeah, let's see more of her.
I feel like they're going to bring her to the chamber.
Yeah, honestly.
I'm not feeling guys, but I'm trying my best. Excuse me.
Alrighty, guys. Los Americanos get their way inside the ring for some tag team action against Javon Evans and a mystery opponent. And then we came to find out that mystery opponent was none other than OG Americano appears with a good crowd reaction. So this match right here, I felt like was the match of the night, and for good reasons. A lot of back and forth, a lot of crazy spots. So we saw a double German from OG Americano onto Los Americanos, and before we ended the match, this was probably the craziest spot of the night and probably the craziest spot in WWE for quite a while that we've seen. We saw, I think it was a Bravo Americano going to the top rope, setting a splash onto OG Americano. But before he connected in midair, Javon Evans comes out of nowhere with the OG cutter. Hits it on Bravo, connects perfectly good in midair, nonetheless. And this is going to get replayed again and again and again. And honestly, well-deserved from Javon Evans, because this kid is crazy. For him to catch him in midair like this with that much elevation, I'm not going to lie, that was insane. That was pretty insane. Crazy spot. After he hit that move, he tags in OG Americano, dives his ass out of the ring to attack the other Americano. And then from there, OG Americano picks up the one with the diving headbutt for the 1, 2, 3, bam. Then at that point, we did get, El Grande, the I don't know how we call this at this point. So we had the OG, and I guess we'll just call him the Grande Americano. We'll just call him Grande Americano. We tried to get him to amass the OG. Didn't work out, backfired. Instead, OG was about to amass El Grande Americano until Los Americanos saved his ass, got him out the ring. Like I said, I like this direction. I hope they go into Mania, Mask versus Mask, and play this whole storyline off good. I don't want to see no unmasking besides the masked men tonight between those Americanos. Yeah. And no over, no raw. It has to be at a pay-per-view, and it has to be in the stipulation. What else we got?
We got what feels like a bigger deal heading into Mania: women's IC belt or women's world title.
The women's IC belt. I just don't think that the women's world title is doing any justice right now. I mean, if Liz picks Jade Cargill,
no.
I'm just saying, if Liv picks Jade Cargill, maybe that brings some eyes to that product. But if she doesn't, then who does Jade Cargill have to face?
Two.
Yeah, but I'm saying what value is that?
Jordan Grace or Raquel Rodriguez.
And you think that's a lot of value?
I think Jordan Grace, because you started to actually have some.
But so you're saying that's going to bring eyes to that product, though?
Of course I know.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. I think right now it's just the IC title. The IC title is winning and bringing eyes to the product, which is good. Let's do Natty versus Maxine, hair versus hair. That'll be too much, man. I don't know. I don't think they'll ever do that again for quite a while. I mean, Not in WWE at least. We have that in AEW right now, and that's what's his name? Freshly Squeezed, Orange Cassidy, and Tony Storm versus basically the Death Rider, which is Wheeler Yuta and Sharia. So, and one of them's gonna go bald.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's Yuta too. By the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't see OC, and I don't see Tony Storm losing their hair anytime soon.
No.
No. But regardless, we're not going to see that. We do have another comment that says Jade Cargo celebrated 100 days of champion, yet she hasn't fucking faced anybody. So why are we clapping here?
Because she got 100 days.
No. But she hasn't faced it. She hasn't defended
we can
that
celebrate
title.
fucking Roman Reigns celebrating 1,000.
And I didn't like that either. I did not like that. No. I didn't celebrate that. No. You wanna be a stooge and clap for that? It's fine.
Man, I'm a stooge.
I don't like that. She doesn't defend her title, and most of these champions don't defend their title. The tag team champions don't really defend their titles. Jade Cargill, Stephanie Vaquer. Once they win their titles, they go MIA, they disappear, and it's like they get forgotten about. They come out for promos and they just don't defend their titles ever. It's ridiculous. I want to see more of it. I mean, thank God for CM Punk. Thank God for Becky Lynch. Thank God for who else defends their title?
Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre does actually. I'll give him so far he's been defending his title, so I'll give him that. You know, for the United States champion. Yeah. Right. The United States whole title's been defended more often than not than those titles itself. So I give credit where credit's due there. What does WWE see in Jade?
That.
Just a look. That's all it is. There's nothing else. She's not a good wrestler. She has a great appearance. She has a great look. She can cut a good promo, but it's always like a couple of one-liners and that's it. But it's pretty much just the looks. She looks great. She looks like $1 million, honestly, but when it comes to wrestling, it's just short, and I think WWE knows that. So they don't want her out there and exposing herself more often than not, unfortunately. And because of that, we don't see that title getting defended often. So look, on to the next one. We did get a Gunther segment where he's laughing about what he did to Dragon Lee last week. It's crazy, but look, regardless, this whole thing is about Gunther, and they ask him, like, what do you think? And he says, I don't really care, you know, because my road to WrestleMania doesn't start till next week. It should have started it when I beat Goldberg, when I beat Cena, and when I beat AJ Styles, but it didn't. So on to next week, it starts on my road to WrestleMania. I don't know what his plans are.
He's probably going to enter the chamber.
But I'm saying, overall, what is his plans for the future?
Enter the chamber, win the championship.
So he's going to win the championship at the chamber.
No. Enter the chamber, win it, and then win the championship.
So which championship is going to go for?
The one that's left over.
Okay, so which is that?
Which is going to be Drew.
So he's going to go face off Drew McIntyre?
Hey, he just said champion. He didn't say which one he's going to go after.
Yeah, I don't make sense of that. So I don't know. I don't really see.
They're not going to give Drew a championship run this year.
Well, let's put it this way: it doesn't make any sense where Gunther's directions is, because at this point on SmackDown side, we have Cody, we have Fatu chasing that title. Well, Fatu's really chasing Drew. Cody's chasing that title. We already got a segment, and we do got some confirmation that Cody is facing Drew at WrestleMania once again. We don't like it, but it's going to happen. I don't know where you see Drew inserted in this. I don't know there's much to do with Drew at this point.
Gunther.
I mean, yeah, Gunther, sorry. There's not much to do with Gunther at all. It doesn't make any sense what we could do with them at this point. I think AJ retiring too early kind of affected him in some ways, but hey, time will tell and we'll see. You know, when we got all the chamber qualifier men's in there, we'll see who's our favorite to win, and it might just end up being Gunther.
Yeah.
But regardless, that was a segment of Gunther himself. I mean, what else can you say? It was a segment and it happens. So look, we did get the triple threat match of the night. Penta, Knight, as well as Austin Theories, all facing off one another. It was a good little back and forth triple threat match until Logan Paul comes out, interferes, tries to cost Penta the match at some point, and LA Knight. But overall, we had a bunch of interference of the vision until out of nowhere we have another masked man come out, attack Austin Theory, curve stomps his ass, and then runs away because Logan Paul's chasing his ass. So I don't know what's going on.
We thought it was Austin Theory, so it's not him.
So we thought it was Austin. It's not Austin. Who else is left? Could this has been a setup though? Could this been a work? Could this been Logan Paul trying to swerve us though, and say, "Look, it's not us, man. It's another masked man. It's not us. It's not us." And trying to play like, "Hey, look, it's another guy, so it can't be us at all." Trying to play a swerve on the fans. I don't know, but this whole masked man coming out gimmick is kind of getting me annoying. So I don't know when it's gonna end, but it's not gonna end anytime soon. When do we get a face reveal? I say by Chamber at least.
I hope so.
Yeah, because at this point, I want this to keep going on and dragging, because it's kind of feeding the value of someone being masked. And usually when they're masked, they unmask themselves right away. A couple of other comments.
One more. Can you mention Bronson Reed versus Seth Rollins for Mania? What a bummer.
Bronson Reed versus Seth Rollins for Mania. What a bummer. So look, put it this way. That's only if that's only if Bron Breaker's completely out.
He's completely out. He needed surgery.
Yeah, but the thing with hernia is it's not a long recovery. So it's actually pretty short. So he does need surgery, and there is estimate that he might be back by the time Mania comes around. So hernia, it's not a bad thing to get injured as much, but it does hurt, but it's not as bad. So he could be back by Mania. That's only if it's 100%. But that's also if Seth Rollins is 100%, because no one really has his like health and all. So I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
When WWE creative is out of angles, you could always count on Masked Man Angle, HHH Logic. Yeah, unfortunately, he's right about that.
He is.
Yeah, so I mean that's like Triple H's like
go-to.
Well, the safety blanket right there. Just bring up the Masked Man. Who do you want to put this time? I don't know. Put Montez Ford. Yeah. No one's gonna tell the difference. Yeah. So look, overall, your Raw review. That's your Raw review. It wasn't your best Raw. It wasn't the greatest. It wasn't the worst. It's an okay Raw.
Give it a high C, low C minus.
I gave it a C minus. It wasn't your best. I felt like there was something missing tonight. Some ingredient out there for every segment. I just felt it was okay. It was entertaining enough for me to keep watching, keep coming back, because regardless, we're still going to do that.
Yeah.
So let's move on to some news. Big E is officially retired. Put it on his Twitters. Thanks to fans for all these years in wrestling. But he's officially out of ring action. But he's still going to be back doing his pre-shows and post-shows interviews as well. So look, we've seen that coming. We knew Big E was going to come back for quite a while. That injury was really devastating, and he found himself a good spot, thankfully, as you know, in one of those post-match shows.
Yeah,
and I think he does great.
He does.
Yeah, he's entertaining. He's charismatic. He's still young. Hey, it's better off to call it a career with your head still intact, and nothing worse came about it besides, you know, a pretty bad injury. But look, at this point, it's better off to do it this way instead of suffering longer throughout the years.
Yeah,
I get it. When you get the itch to get back in the ring, you get the itch to get back in the ring. You'll try to do whatever it takes to get back. Look at Adam Copeland and look at Bryan Danielson. But sometimes, when it's not there, it's just not there anymore. Yeah. And unfortunately, he called it a quits. But if you look at his career overall, he did win a world title.
Yeah, he did.
He was part of the biggest stable in WWE history, maybe. Yep, for the longest time.
Multiple tag team titles.
Yeah, so, and he was a great wrestler. So, and he was good in the mic. So I call it a great career. He's going to be a Hall of Famer one day.
He really is.
Yeah, maybe not 3 years from now, but give it 5 or 6. I can see him going into the Hall of Fame. My only issue is we never got that whole finish of the segment between him and the New Day.
Yeah.
And I don't think we'll ever will at this point. But regardless, a hell of a career. Congrats to Big E, my man. We'll see you on the post show and many years to come.
Thank you, Big E.
We got another comment. I think Punk's promo was dope. That was it.
Yeah.
That was pretty much the highlight of Raw. Hey, well, besides that, and Javon Evans fucking OG cutter that he caught Bravo Americano on midair, that was just fucking crazy. When I saw that, I'm not gonna lie, I was like Jey Uso, run it back. I kept seeing the highlights and highlights and highlights. That's gonna go up there with Randy Orton, RKO, Evan Bourne. That was just crazy, honestly. The perfection, the timing, the air that he got is crazy. Look, overall, yeah, like I said, it was decent. Big E's retired. On to the next segment, and is this one. This is gonna really strike a nerve in me. TKO is getting a little greedy again. Alrighty?
And then they stopped.
We'll put it this way, my man.
What did they stop?
So we'll put it this way. So WrestleMania season.
Okay.
It's in Vegas, right?
Yes.
Tickets are outrageous. But as a fan, you want to go out there.
Of course.
You still want to experience, because they have a lot of the conventions going on there, not just the WWE World, but they got WrestleCon and all these other conventions, the parties, the local parties, the after parties, the fans just come out there, want to enjoy Vegas, want to socialize with one another, probably meet a group of wrestling friends, hang out, get the whole experience. And sometimes they don't have enough resource to go to the show.
Yep.
Because Mania is getting more expensive. And with the cheapest tickets on Ticketmaster is about $600 for nosebleeds.
Goodness.
You don't want to really, just attend that. Because then you're not going to be able to watch anything. You might as well just pull out your phone and watch it from there. So with that being said, some fans like to just watch it at watch parties.
Yeah.
They go to Vegas watch parties. I went there last year. I seen a bunch of them. I attended the show, but I did see a lot of watch parties at a lot of bars. A lot of, hotels had them also, having these parties. So with that being said, ticket numbers are not moving as well as they planned. So they're very low. Not like very low, but I think they're about 20% lower than last year. So they're not moving those numbers. And we said this a while back when they announced them coming back to Vegas. They run it back, like Jey Uso said. At Vegas again, that is the whole AEW All-In effect.
Yeah.
Where All-In was successful, but when they ran it back twice in London, it did not sell very well. The same thing is going on right now. They're probably about like 20% less of the tickets they sold. And with that being said, WWE TKO has announced that in the 50-mile radius of Vegas, where they're hosting this event, there will be no watch parties. Ooh. They're not gonna allow them to do this at all. They're not gonna give them those rights. Even if these bars already bought their rights to stream them, they're not allowed to do it. So with that being said, if you're around that radius, you went out there in Vegas and you want to have a watch party, you better get your ass out of Vegas, that's for sure. So that pisses me off, man. Because like I said, most fans want to go out there for the experience, to go out there for the conventions, to go out there for the autograph, to meet fans, to get that Vegas experience.
Yeah.
But my man, it's expensive nowadays. But now we have to suffer because, hey, some people sometimes get the last minute tickets.
Yeah.
They're not too sure yet. They got to feel it out. But with that being said, you always had a plan B. You know what? I go watch it with a watch party, man. I go watch it with all these new people, meet up with them. Now we can't have that shit. That pisses me off. Because I plan on going to Vegas. I haven't gotten my ticket yet for Mania. But in case I couldn't afford it, I had a plan B. Why not just go, but go to a watch party if all else fails? Maybe I'll pay $50 for an entry. But it's a lot less than paying $600 for some damn nosebleeds. At least I get to watch it there on front row if I wanted to, and watch it with a bunch of wrestling fans. They still get that same feeling, that same energy hype from the crowd, the same hype, and interact afterwards. We're in Vegas. And then afterwards, we'll see all the other wrestling fans after Mania's over. We can't have that shit anymore. So with that being said,
well, look. Sorry to interrupt you, but I'll just tell you this. I'm looking right now at stadium ticket prices for Elimination Chamber. Cheapest ticket right now before taxes on Ticketmaster, $204.90.
How much?
$204.90.
And what tickets are that?
Elimination Chamber.
Well, that's Chamber. I'm talking about Mania right
I don't
now.
know
Bro.
what I'm saying. Like, you would think like right now they'll put these tickets like at about 100, for $50 for the cheapest one, and then yeah, 600, 700 for Mania, whatever. Fine, it's Mania. Go ahead. Look at the Super Bowl tickets. Look at how much they jump.
Yeah, but like, no offense to that pay-per-view, it's not holding a 70,000 capacity crowd, and they're not even. So put it this way: the amount of tickets they sold, I know they're gonna put some tarp. They're gonna hide some spots.
Yeah,
because they're not gonna sell. I don't even prediction. I don't think they're gonna even sell 40,000 the way they're going right now. They'll get lucky if they did, because I think last year they sold about, I want to say like 55 to 60,000, and I seen some tarp in some crowd section that was closed off, so the camera lighting it didn't see it, so they didn't sell out the building. I think this year they'll get like 40,000, maybe 45, but I don't see them hitting 50.
No.
And the way the tickets are moving, I don't see that. We're already a couple of months away, and we seen the card that is put out there right now. We know we're gonna get Roman versus CM Punk. We're gonna get something with Drew and Cody once again, and Fatu maybe, but it's not looking good. There's no storylines developing well. The fans are getting tired. Put it this way too, another situation out there, and this is me looking at it as the whole picture. The World Cup is coming this year to the United States. All right. And some people from the outside, that want to come to Mania, that are sports fans, like, a lot of the UK guys, they're huge sports fans in general. They might be like, look, well, why am I going to spend for Mania if I went to Mania last year in Vegas? Why run it back? Why not just go to the World Cup instead?
Yeah.
And that's going to be super expensive in itself. So a lot of people might be saving up for that, or maybe saving up just in general for something else, because they're probably thinking it's just getting ridiculous. These pricing, the merchandise, Vegas itself is expensive. You're paying a lot of money for hotels. You're paying a lot of money for food because they don't have buffets that are cheap anymore. A lot of money for parking, a lot of money for Ubers, a lot of money just to entertain yourself plus gambling. Vegas is high priced. It's been priced out for many years. It's not the same old Vegas that we used to get back in the day. It's stupid expensive, and fans are eventually going to get sick and tired of this. And I don't think it might not sell well.
No.
I think this might be the lowest selling ticket numbers. They might be the highest revenue. But when it comes to ticket sales, good luck with that. Couple of comments at your street.
I heard Super Bowl parking was $400. I wonder what WrestleMania parking will be what cost for the people driving to the stadium.
I want to say it was like 100. I think it's going to be $100 to park there. It's my prediction. I think last year was around $50 if you wanted to park there, and I thought that was a lot. But I think this year I could see it bumping up to 100. And stadium food is yuck. Yeah. Oh yeah. Any stadium food is always ugh. And they charge you a lot for those damn food. It's ridiculous.
Especially the nachos.
Yeah. I mean, Roman is confirmed 5 weeks in a row for Raw in March. Thank God. Look, I don't like the direction this is going. TKO is just getting greedy overall. It's expected. It really is expected, but it's not a good look for them. I feel like some fans out there that are planning to go are now, this is probably like the nail in the coffin that says, you know what, I'm just going to watch this at home, watch it at the comfort of my TV, and skip this year's Mania. Because like I said, last minute ticket buyers, they usually wait, and if they didn't, they had a backup. But this year, if you don't have that plan B, you don't have that safety blanket, that might just put a lot of people off and might not just deliver in the end. So unfortunately with that, I don't know, man. The future is not really looking that great for us fans out there. We're getting priced out everywhere with WWE, and with this being said, it's just showing their corporate greed. You think, we got another comment by Nick, you think they will start doing buy one, get one free for Mania?
Yep.
Nah. TKO does not want to lose money. So this is their way of basically forcing the fans to buy tickets. I guarantee you they won't do that, and they'll just close down more of the seats out there. If they have to, they will.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't see that. I wish that was the case. I'll be happy. I barely see them decreasing. I think they'll give out like a sale like they did in around. I think it was around December when they had like
Buy
a
one,
sale.
you buy two for the price of what is it?
No, it was just tickets are now 10% off.
Something.
Yeah, it was just 10% off, and that was the cheapest you could get out them at the time. I could see that happening, but I don't see a buy one get one. And if it did, I would be jumping up in joy.
We got to the point where the tickets stop moving and they become desperate.
Nah. I really do think that TKO is not going to burge. Um, okay, let's put it this way: for the UFC, if they don't really sell out, you don't really hear these type of tickets go on sale for the UFC fights at all. I think in the end, it's just a dead seat. It's a dead seat. For them, they rather cut a loss than make their product look cheap at any point. Um, so with that being said, I don't know, man. Do you think they're gonna get this break? Because I don't. I really don't.
Well, I'm actually checking right now. For 2 days. For 2 days for two tickets, it's $1,477.50.
Ticketmaster.
Ticketmaster. But this is for 2 days though.
Yeah, that's
This
a
is
lot of
both
money.
Friday and Saturday.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. Don't like the direction it's going, but what can we do? One more comment on this topic. Let's see.
If they did that for one more, sure, there would have been less empty seats, and it would have looked better for the folks watching on Netflix.
Yes, it is actually. Any other comments that you threw before we close out the segment right here in this
Honestly,
one?
man, TKO's getting too greedy, and they gotta stop treating this like it's a UFC event. That's the thing about it. They're trying to treat this as a UFC event, and it's not.
Yeah.
UFCs change. These don't. What I'm saying is, these young fighters in UFC don't. Basically, their trash talk is months.
Right.
These guys have to hold our attention for months, and longer times, and they have to put on matches, and they have to put on promos, and they have to put on interference, and they have to put on everything. So you have to stop treating this. And again, this is not a knock on WWE. I love WWE. I grew up with WWE. But you have to treat this as your B show where your prices have to match what the competition is around. I get it. You want the premium product because that's what you have in UFC. UFC, though, you don't have any competition. In WWE, you do have competition.
Right.
And that's the scary part. A lot of these companies are going to, the AEW is going to start looking at, you know what, guys? Let's go ahead and start keeping our tickets the same price. Eventually, dude, they start putting it up. Hey, dude, if I was Tony Khan right now, honestly, right now, focus and get your banger after banger after banger after banger after banger nonstop. Put on thick and some great storylines, some great matches and everything. And best believe people are going to be turning the product and trying to be turning the eye and looking at AEW more.
So let's talk about some AEW news with that being said.
Go ahead.
All right, look, so put it this way. We did got some confirmation for Tony Khan himself, and this is what he says, by the way. He says that someone asked him, what's the time frame of Britt Breaker returning at some point in AEW in the future? He said, I believe Britt Breaker will return in the future to AEW. Never said when, but it said at some point when she's ready. So that's kind of a little weird because usually he'll either ignore the question when he knows there's no way they're coming back. But this time he gave us somewhat of an answer. So it looks like they're trying to work something out. Maybe just talking to her, be like, hey, please, just come back. You know, we miss you. Let's get you on the TV. Let's get you out there. Let's get you a couple of matches. Let's see how it goes. And they're trying to get back in good terms, it sounds like. And it's probably a good direction for her to come back to TV. So overall, Dynamite. I did watch some of Dynamite last week, and it was pretty good, pretty bad. Like, goods and bads. They seem to push Andrade Elo up there, which I have no issue with. I'm actually surprised he beat Kenny Omega. But at the same time, we all know Omega's not 100%.
Yeah.
So this makes sense. This is the right move. We did get a little bout where Idolo did come out after his win and got to celebrate with some of the models in the front row that they paid or they gave them free tickets to be there. And
one's an influencer, actually.
Yeah, one of the influencers that posted this shit is so fake. it's not a good look for AEW. Like, if you're gonna grab someone, at least grab someone that has a positive mindset of a fan being there, not one that you casually just found on whatever Instagram. Well, Instagram model that you thought it would be good for this, you know. I get that they're trying to get an image for Idolo, but it's just not a good look, you know. It made you look kind of weak at this point. Another comment, real quick. What else we got here? If they did, oh, okay. You read the Royal Rumble?
Yeah.
Okay. Regardless, with that being said, you caught the whole MJF losing
quickly,
very
quickly.
Yeah, very quickly in very fashionable time. What do you think overall with that?
It makes Brody King look strong and actually makes him look like a viable opponent and even like a viable champion.
Brody?
Yeah.
But you really think Brody's going to win the title? No, I don't think he's going to win it now. I give him about 2 more years where I can see him in the title scene. It does make him look strong, like you said. Good direction. And they are facing off for actually, you know, the title match this week. And with that being said, I do think MJF is going to win, and I also don't see Brody Lee winning this one. But it was a nice whole make this guy look strong, make him look like he has a shot against the title. The only thing is, it looked like the whole Gunther Dragon Lee whole chokehold situation, which I thought was funny.
It was.
Yeah. What do you think of that segment overall?
I think it was funny because at the end of the day, MJF was like, who did it better? And he put the comparison to him versus Dragon Lee. And it was like, okay, cool. I see what you're trying to come at. But it was one of those situations where it's like, is Tony now trying to like copycat it WWE?
You know, for a lot of stuff that we give Tony Khan, I actually kind of think that he is trying to take a shot at WWE this way, you know, like who hold it better type of situation, which I think it was kind of petty, but yeah, it didn't make any sense. This Dynamite was half and half. We had some good segments, some good matches, and we also had some bad fucking segments and no lead up for storyline. Numbers were a little higher, apparently, a little bit higher. So it looks like they're going up in viewerships a little bit, which is good for now. But overall, time will tell and see how this goes. I'm ready for them to go to Australia this week, and I want to see that whole setup they're going to have out there. Their return to Australia, and I want to see how this goes. So I'm excited for it. I'm pumped. So I don't know. Overall, we'll see all about that. We do have one little guy that went off crazy this week in AEW, and that's your friend Baldy Ricochet.
Yeah.
So SG3, what do you think about that? Overall,
firstly, comment. Why are they chanting "fuck ice"? Yes, they were.
So that was the funniest part. They did chant "fuck ice." Look, we're not political, so we're not gonna go into details with that. But you saw NJS's face when they said that. He's just like, it's just like his reaction. Like the guy doesn't have to say much to get a good reaction of comedy out there.
Yeah.
It was funny. It was hilarious. I liked it. I like MJF, the way he just works out the crowd no matter what, you know, just by little facial expressions. Honestly, it was pretty good. What else we got here?
MJF is better than all of us, and we know it.
Of course he is.
We know it.
All right, let's get to that tweet, SG3. Read off that tweet real quick.
All right, so here's a tweet that came in from Ricochet this past week, I believe, a weekend.
My man, Ricochet was wilding out this weekend.
It really was.
Shout out to Nick Cannon.
So, Ricochet, they took my love of pro wrestling away. I'll never forget how I felt walking into work every week, and that platform was only to make other people look good at my expense. And I told them I'd rather quit and go back to the Indies and make whatever I'd make there than to come back next week. Someone responded to Ricochet and said, I think as an artist, there are seasons where the spotlight fades, but the work still matters. It even can inform some of your best work that's to come. I hate that you feel this way, especially considering that I thought you did great work even despite some of the circumstances. His response, Ricochet, I do feel this way, and many others do as well. That company kills the love, and you end up being a shell of who you were and going through the motions. Dave Meltzer.
Oh, my God.
Hey, Uncle Dave. There's a genuine fear of it. People can't handle the truth. Ethan Rosen, then why do you guys keep going there? Just money and the light schedule.
Nah.
Ricochet, because it was a childhood dream, so they want to see for themselves. Plus, lots of people like fame, and it is the biggest company, so you'll be more quote unquote famous. Same thing happens to Balor, Shinsuke, Apollo, and many others.
Oh wow.
WWE kills legacies and love of the sport. It's what they do best. And there's one more thing, I think. Hold on, give me a second. And there's one more. I missed two. Sorry. Many discovered me at a time where my talents and legacy were being taken advantage of by a company that didn't really care about me. I forgot to read that one. One last one is, so I have a serious question. I don't know how rude this will sound, but I don't mean for it to be. Why do you think it's been different for the guys? Why do you think it's been different from the guys you named and the guys like Zayn, Owen, Styles? Guys who have been given that opportunity and grow their legacies, arguably.
Interesting tweets. Alrighty. So with that all being said, what do you overall think about this SG3? You want to go ahead and start? Or you want me to start?
You go ahead, brother.
All right. So put it this way. Overall, what I think about this tweet from Ricochet. All right, look, I get it. You know, he did talk about this quite a while back when he was leaving WWE and heading his way to AEW when he was exiting at first. Yes, he lost the passion in WWE for quite a while. What that could lead to? Probably bad booking, but I don't think he was that bad off when he was in NXT. I think he enjoyed it, and he was successful in NXT in his run as well. He was one of the most popular wrestlers on that black and gold era, and I could vouch for that because I remember seeing this man action and live. The whole crowd went crazy, but I think when he got onto the main roster, it was really his downfall. Could I see a point where yes, Ricochet does have a point in all this, that yes, it made him lose the passion, yes. But at the same time, the man did sign an extension on his contract.
Multiple times.
So it's kind of contradicting of himself to do that. And to know that you were going to get squashed eventually. Yeah. Over and over again. But he did have some good moments, even in the main roster. So I don't know. It's hard to say here. I feel like some of this stuff, he is contradicting himself. And at the same time, not every guy could be the top guy in every promotion. Hell, in this run with AEW, I want to say he's a top guy, but he's a upper mid-card and a smaller pond. So look, in the end of the day, he does have a point. Like everybody wants to go to the big time, but that's what it is. It's the big times. No matter what, WWE is the end goal for a lot of wrestlers, and it should be. It really is. It's the major leagues. Honestly, I don't know, man. I just don't know how to feel about this tweet. I feel like it's all over the place with Ricochet. I get his point of view, but the fact that he's mentioning all these other guys like Balor, Apollo, and stuff, there's no need for, man. Like, I mean, those guys could defend themselves, and those guys have no issue with being in WWE right now, or else they would have left a while back. I don't see any issue with Finn Balor because he's also one that extended his contract when he had time to leave. He did not want to leave. AJ Styles is another guy who had time to leave and join AEW when they first started. He did not want to. Because in the end of the day, WWE is where it's at. You know, the big times, even though we sometimes bash it, in the end of the day, it's where the big boys play. You know, it's the big leagues. It's what everybody wants to be at. I don't know. I can see some of his points, though. Yes, it did kill his passion. This killed his love for pro wrestling. But at the same time, I don't know. It's tough. Well, let's read some of these comments real quick.
So the last one is just Ricochet has some great matches and they see it on the main roster.
He just had the matches, but okay, put it this way. You know why also he didn't really work out in WWE? He had no promo skills, no mic skills. He was awful on the mic.
He really was.
I seen some of his early work before he had to, you know, when he wasn't just in the indie scenes, when he had long hair, Ricochet, it was bad. This guy was just awkward on the mic. And I seen that, what was it, Money in the Bank segment where they basically killed him when they were all standing on the ladders and stuff. And he had something to say, and everybody was just basically throwing jabs at him all over the place. And he was a face. and it felt like they were laughing at him. The crowd was laughing at him. He had no mic skill. He was awkward.
In the WWE, the thing that's going to get you over more than anything is your mic skills.
Your mic skills. His wrestling skills was top notch. Don't get me wrong. It's probably one of the best wrestlers on that roster during that time, even in black and gold, even to the main event. But once he went to AEW, it took quite a while for him to get it good on the mic because he was still awkward in the beginning, but he got better. And I think him being a heel really helps out bring that awkwardness out in a better way in his heel segments. He's gotten a lot better. But overall, that was his own fault. He should have trained a lot better to be a better guy on the mic, whether he was face or heel. This guy, we have a comment that says he was just like Neville, which would be, which would be Pac today. Pac has the look. Pac has the look. He has the wrestling skills and the movesets. The issue was he was never a good promo guy, and he was also short. Yeah, he was also short, which Ricochet is as well. What do you think, SG3?
I just feel like this. Again, you have the high flyer. You already have that with so many people in WWE. You already have that. But it's like, what are you going to do next to really catapult yourself to the top? That's going to make people say, you know what, that guy deserves a title, not just for his ring skill, but for his mic skill as well.
Right.
And I feel like maybe Ricochet himself, maybe he sat there. Sometimes you kill your own passion because you're like, you know what, man, I interviewed for, you know what, let's put it modern day in regular life in society. Not just WWE, it's regular life in society. You sit there, you work your butt, you work your ass off every single day at work, but it's like your work keeps getting overlooked because somebody else knows how to promote themselves better. Someone else knows how to get better scores than you, whatever it is. And it's like, dude, I bust my ass day in, day out. Why can't I get, for example, like, instead of you trying to go for like a team lead position or like a lateral move to really start catapulting yourself there, it's like, why can't I just be a supervisor?
Right.
So you're aiming for the big top. Maybe Ricochet was always trying to be WWE champion because, that's a lifelong dream for many wrestling fans, wrestlers, and everything. They want to be WWE champion. However, sometimes you have to understand, I need to make a lateral move and build myself up.
Exactly.
And that's the one thing that's like, they tried multiple ways to get him to be like, all right, dude, we're going to catapult you and actually make you shine. But even then, though, he still wouldn't shine. I remember when he did the tag team with Braun Strowman.
Oh, yeah.
Where Braun held up the mistletoe and got the kiss from Samantha Irvin. I remember all that, dude. And it was like, dude, they're really trying to push Ricochet. What was another one? The Rumble spot with Logan Paul. And then they ran it back, and it was like, dude, it literally keeps just showing. They're trying to get him over. However, though, as a promotion, you're like, you don't have that last over yet.
I felt like if Vince would have still stayed on to the roster to this day, and Ricochet would have stayed as well, I still feel like Ricochet would have had that Rey Mysterio spot.
Yeah.
Where Rey wasn't good on the mic. He was good on the mic as a heel without the mask back in the day. But he wasn't good at the mic overall as a face. He was always awkward, but he had the wrestling skills and he had the fan favoritism. I felt like people loved Ricochet. Loved him because he was a high flyer. He did his crazy spots. And people could relate because he was a small guy.
Yeah.
I felt like he would have had that Ray role had he stayed and had Vince still been in charge. But when Triple H took over, I feel like Triple H just kind of gave up on this guy because they tried to get him over and they just didn't figure out anything to do with him, and he never got better on the mic. Wrestling skills are always going to be there, but at the same time, they're going to fade away eventually.
Yeah.
And if you can't get better on the mic, you have nothing. You're just an average wrestler. And I wouldn't say that he's an average wrestler. I would say he's a little bit above average, but as he ages down, it's just going to get slower and slower at this point.
He's still doing the same moves in 10 years from now.
Yeah.
5 years.
No, I don't think he will.
So I mean, this one is like, you can't just rely on your skill alone. You have to learn how to hone your craft to make it better. And I feel that, if you look at it, when Ray came into WWE, I think he cut a promo, and then it was like, get him off.
Mm-hmm.
And they started having, like, the Kurt Angle segments. They had Eddie Guerrero segment where it's like, the heel will talk more, and he just had a one quick liner. And that's what I feel would have happened with Ricochet. One quick liner. But it's like the crowd would have caught on, and it's like, oh, yeah, we love these one quick liners. We love these little ones. And his rapport would have built with the fans, and we would have cheered him more.
Right.
But I feel like at this point, he just wanted to go I'm here now. Shoot me out.
Right.
And it's like, dude, how about you take a lateral move? How about you take a U.S. Championship run for 3 months? Take an IC run. Take a tag title run. Go back down to U.S. and see how you feel with each one, and see how the fans love you as well as each champion. So that's where I'm coming from. A couple comments from Nick. That's what Cody did. That's what Drew did. They left, came back bigger.
That is exactly a good point. They came back bigger than ever. For Drew's case, he came back bigger
Literally.
than ever. And actually, Cody did put up a couple of muscle mass as well. What else we got?
But you heard what Drew said. Drew said the last thing I want you guys to remember about me is I used to play the guitar.
Yep, that is true, actually. Yeah, the whole 3-man band. Remember that? Oh, dude, he went from the Chosen One angle with Vince to just completely going down to 3-man band. It was ridiculous. There was a lot of hope for this guy to go over, and obviously it didn't work out. He left. He came back even stronger than ever. He came back.
Even great on the mics and everything.
Oh, even better on the mic, I felt like. He was just crazy. And the same thing goes for Cody. From Stardust, well, to being... Okay, so remember this one. Legacy. Let's be real.
Legacy.
I was thinking about this actually the other day. Legacy, he was never supposed to be the man to step out of there. It was going to be Ted DiBiase Jr.
Yeah.
I remember for years, everybody's like, oh, DiBiase Jr. is the future of wrestling. And everybody was always putting Cody Rhodes off.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. And I thought to myself, well, Cody's a pretty good wrestler. Cody's not bad on the mic. Like, why does everybody keep putting him off? I mean, I get it. He's Dusty Rhodes' son, but I don't think it was that bad. If anything, I thought Junior had the looks, had a little bit of charisma, but just didn't have the it factor. And then years later, look how things turn around. Cody's main eventing and DiBiase, I think, is going to jail. That's another story for another case. Yeah. But regardless, it's just crazy how things work out that way, you know? What else we got?
Maybe Ricochet gets to learn from guys who have fruit of the tree.
Have fruit of the tree.
Have fruit on the tree.
Oh, on the tree. That is true, actually. So that being said, man, I don't know what Ricochet was spazzing about. I think he was just trying to have some fun online. Because I think he likes trolling these fans.
But I also think that sometimes the troll is actually just telling the truth.
Yeah, sometimes.
Say AEW brought back my love of the game.
Yeah, and I do see that. I felt like he was spitting out some truth, but at the same time trolling some of these fans and just say, fuck it, I'm just going to give them a bone and see how they go about. Another comment that says,
unfortunately, Ricochet's already for Brad. Damn it, Nick.
I don't know about Matt Riddle, man. Matt Riddle's a piece of shit, and I will say it like that. That guy has some fucking issues. I don't think Ricochet's on that level yet, and I hope he never gets to that level.
You never know.
No. So look, I don't know, it's crazy, but honestly, for AEW wrestlers fighting off fans is nothing new. You know, not fighting, but arguing with them. Okay, look, some interesting things happened this week as well. And I found out that Real American Beer, brother, is actually phasing out Hulk Hogan, which is just crazy. So you notice there's no more commercials on Raw. They're fading that out completely. They got rid of them. Now they're fading out the images of Hulk Hogan on the beer can. So it looks like something happened between the company that owns that brand is getting sued by, I guess, Hogan's estate as well as Ric Flair's estate.
Oh.
Yeah, so they did some work with Ric Flair that didn't end up well for them as well. And then Ric Flair is basically saying they're getting rich off of like his image and stuff, and they're using it more often than not. And they're claiming that they're not going about it that way. So look, overall, this all means that we're not seeing Hulk Hogan on a beer can anymore.
Nope.
So
God knows when.
I don't know anymore. At this point, now that he's deceased, it's less likely that we'll ever see him back on another product anytime soon. Especially how things are going about with his estate right now, with his daughter and his wife.
Yeah.
It's not looking good. So things are a little tricky. But with that being said, I heard they're doing a giveaway. So they are removing his products, but I guess they're doing a giveaway for their last couple of runs that they have for Hogan beer. Real American Beer, basically. And that is if you find a golden beer in one of these 12 packs or 6 packs or whatever they sell at these supermarkets, then you'll win, I guess, a certain amount of money. So there's big hurrah going around. So it's like reminds me of Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Literally.
So for any of you guys out there, for that you guys like alcohol and you guys want to try this real American beer, get them while it lasts.
Yep.
Because it's gonna be basically a collector's item.
Yeah.
Like me myself, I'm not gonna go out my way. If I see it, I see it. If not, whatever. I'm not gonna go out my way to get all this stuff. But for you collectors out there, get it while you last. Because at this point, once it's done, it's done. And I guarantee you that value of that alcohol is gonna go way up. It's gonna be a lot of scalpers trying to get their hands about it. What do you think about all this?
Honestly, dude, it's just another way the scalpers to get more money. That's it. And don't get me wrong, I feel like the company is doing smart with what they're trying to do. But if you think about it, man, their sales are going to quadruple before you realize it. They're probably going to away about $1 million, and how much are they actually going to get back?
True. So let's put it this way, man. I got some interesting news for you gamers fans out there for WWE 2K26 news, and it's not looking good. Though it depends how you see the situation go about. And that is this, man. For now, let's just say this. You pay for all your DLC, right? You buy, I don't know, what is the biggest edition? I guess the Monday Night Raw.
150.
Yeah, Monday Night Wars. You pay for that edition. So you get all your content, right? You get all your special features, and they got a lot of good stuff going on, right? They got, you still got My Rise, Showcase, GM, My Faction, The Island, and Universe. And put it this way. You would think on day one, you paid for all that DLC. You would have all the wrestlers unlocked already, but it doesn't work that way.
Oh.
So you still got to grind and grind and grind your way through everything to get to unlock all these players. So let's just say, I don't know, they had Scott Hall as a unlockable character. You got to grind your way on certain, games and certain modes to unlock all the wrestlers in the game, which is just ridiculous, I would say. My personal opinion is this. I think it's ridiculous. Look, it's hard to say because back in the day, we did have, SmackDown versus Raw games, SmackDown games, and we did have Legends, and we did have WWE Shop, and we did grind our way into like season mode and certain matches to earn money, and we did unlock it. But when you're paying so much money,
I was about to say, you're paying triple the fucking price of what we paid before.
Yeah, you would think a lot of this stuff, at least half of it would be. Well, I don't know how much things you got to grind your way out there, but you would think most of it would be free.
At least 80% of it.
At least 90 at this point. If you're paying $150, I think most of it should at least just be already there unlocked. Not you have to grind your way and play more of the game. And I feel like 2K is doing this because they realize is that most of the casual fans buy the game for a bit to play it.
Yeah.
Because they get that nostalgia pop it in, play it for a bit, and then a couple of months later, it's gone. They don't get on it. They don't get on the servers. They don't go online, and it's gone forever until the next game. So this is their way to get them hooked all year long, just like NBA 2K. Yeah. And with all that grinding and all that season mode you got to do to unlock more characters and more, stats and all. What is your opinion about this? Do you think this is a good direction? Do you like the fact that you have to grind your way through everything? Do you mind all that? Or do you wish that most of it was already on, ready there, accessible?
I wish it was already accessible. I remember, you know what, dude? I was telling somebody a story. I remember when Mortal Kombat X came out, I actually paid for the top tier game that came with the little scorpion statue. I remember all that, dude. I paid all that shit. The fatalities were supposed to be unlimited forever. 1 year. I mean, for everything, unlimited. It was like unlimited fatalities, unlimited this, get the characters. The moment they drop, you get it, whatever. Everything you can think of, I had it. And literally, the moment that they dropped Mortal Kombat X2, whatever it was, the one with Jason and all them guys as the cover, all that shit dropped. I lost everything.
Yeah.
So what the fuck? I paid $100 something for this? So I feel like they're trying to do the same thing, man. And it really does suck. It's like, dude, you're just sucking my money. So now, honestly, dude, I do want to get the 150 bundle. But you don't have anything commemorative for it. I at least have my Scorpion statue still to after all these years. I may not have my fatalities.
So you're saying that you want a physical edition?
If you're going to pay $150, I would like a physical edition and something even a smidget of a thing.
So with that being said, that's some of the fans' backlash is that we have no physical edition of any of the top tiers. Well, they only had the standard tiered. And I remember back in the day when you would buy, I don't know, let's just throw in WWE 2K14. Sometimes they will give you some content with that.
Yeah.
When you buy the special edition, they will get you like supposedly a piece of the ring mat or a Taker figure or something like that. You know,
to
to
take your casket, to take your belt chip, whatever.
It was ridiculous items, but it was still something, somewhat of a collector's item, and it was nice to get a hold of it. But now it's like you buy that special edition, it's digital, and now you have to grind your way through to get all the characters. It's just kind of ridiculous.
I mean, here's my thing, and I'm kind of gonna run a little rant session here. Is this if you're not ready? Fuck it. I get it. You're not ready because the moment the game comes out, you're gonna have all the legends.
Yeah.
But they're gonna come out later. Cool. You know what, dude? Little by little, it's like with this next DLC pack, because you bought your 150. Here you go.
Yeah.
And let's put if you're gonna release 6, grind for 1. The main guy, whatever, screw it. One of the mini guys, doesn't matter. You do that, it's like, all right, cool, it's gonna keep you hooked. But dude, I feel like it's a steal of my money, my hard-earned money, because I'm paying $150 for this, and then I have to go ahead and let's put it. They're going to do about 85%. They're not going to do 90% of the locker room unlocked. So about 85%. And who the hell knows even if the matches are going to be available? Because right now they're saying characters eventually, before we realize they're going to say, yeah, you know what, guys? By the way, the Inferno match, you have to go through this, on this mode, on this difficulty, to go ahead and get the Inferno match.
That is true. I mean, the future doesn't look too bright, too happy about 2K controlling more of these paywalls, I guess, so to say, into these games. And not looking like I like the direction the 2K games are going.
No.
I like the fact that they're giving us more matches and more, different story modes. The Monday Night Wars is a nice feature, but what comes to the future eventually? It's kind of scary. And they're already making us grind through the way to unlock all the characters. It's kind of ridiculous.
I didn't mind the fact that it was like when we had SmackDown vs. Raw 2007, all those modes, and we bought only the cheapest version because they didn't have anything else. I remember, dude, eventually you had to grind for this person. You had to
go to GM. You had to go through season. You had to do the pay-per-view quests.
You had to do everything.
But it was always fun.
But it was like, all right, cool. There is a light at the end of the tunnel for all this. And it was like, you got your reward. Cool. But you knew what you paid for.
Yeah.
It's like, now I'm giving you $150 and I still have to do more. Like, so then what's the benefit of getting $150?
Yeah.
The little digital envelope I'm going to have to tell everyone, I got the Monday Night Wars edition for $150, but yet I still got to pay some money.
Take a screenshot. And then at that point, show it off on the gram,
On the gram, on the book and everything.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I don't like the direction it's going, but
Neither do I.
Yeah. So I know you got another thought in your head, man, and that is I heard we have
yes, we do.
The legend
Sting.
Of the Sting, his offspring,
literally,
is coming his way to a ring near you.
Before you guys realize it, so far by the looks of it, he is right now with AEW. He does have a small little contract with AEW from what I've been reading. Basically, it is a fact that he is not on AEW TV, but he is training to actually get on. I apologize, guys. I'm fighting the flu. He is actually fighting to get on TV with AEW pretty soon. The whole timetable has actually been set. Tony Khan said he was in football in college. He did play this position. I forgot what position he played, but he does have some stamina there.
He looks like he has a lot of muscle mass.
Yeah, dude, he's huge. The guy is huge, honestly. The guy's going to be huge. And honestly, I feel like at this point, it's like, if you want to, honestly, let the kid find his own self.
Yeah.
Don't try to base him off a Sting. Let him be himself.
Right.
But the kid looks huge. The kid looks great. I see some of the highlights. Kid's got a lot of speed. He reminds me kind of like a mini Bron Breaker.
Oh, yeah.
Just not as muscular, but he reminds me of that kind of style.
Well, he does have the same style as his dad does.
Yeah.
Like, he's pretty athletic, it seems like. Let's put it this way. Sting himself was not a good wrestler in the beginning. He was not a natural. He was in bodybuilding.
Yeah.
Him and Warriors, Jim Ellsworth, they were both bodybuilders back in the day. they went into wrestling to get more money. That was the whole point of it. But a lot of people always say that Sting is the one going to break out through both of them, which was shocking during that time. But he did eventually. He got a lot better. He got better at wrestling, better at the mic, and then eventually he's probably one of the, you could say he's probably one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, if that's your personal opinion. So regardless, I mean, the way his son's starting out, it's the same way it reminds me of Sting starting out.
It does, and again, like I said, Tony Khan said, I'm excited to bring him eventually into AEW one of these days. So again, I don't know when we're gonna see it, but he will definitely be in the AEW with the team near you.
I'm actually pretty excited. I wonder if he's, wonder if he's gonna have any relations to his dad in wrestling, or he's gonna go off of his own.
I hope he goes off on his own, man.
Yeah,
and that's, I feel like, if you don't let these guys develop themselves, it's always going to be like Dusty's kid. It's always going to be like Goldust's brother. For example, Cody Rhodes. And now let's put it, Bron Breaker,
or Brian Pillman Jr.
Bron Breaker, all these kids that are growing up, Randy Orton, all these kids growing up and taking the footsteps of their dad and in the family business. The Rock, another one. Holy cow. All those guys who are taking, and you know what? Badass Billy Gunn's kids.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, let them be their own person and let them just not having to mimic their father. Yes, the nostalgia pop is going to be fantastic when he comes in one time, every so often, wearing the Sting clothes. It's been fantastic for the nostalgia pop. But let him be himself.
I would just say let him be himself, because we did see Brian Pillman Jr. come out in AEW. Didn't really do much.
No.
Felt kind of short, but when he came back as Lexus King in NXT, at least he had his own personality.
A lot of it.
And he just does get some TV time, so I think it's better off overall. It's the same thing with Bron Breaker. Imagine if he did call himself Braun Steiner.
Nah.
It has a nice pop to him, but at the same time, you're going to be known as, oh, that's Scott Steiner and Rick Steiner's nephew the whole time.
Or one of them, or Rick's son.
Yeah, in the end of the day, it's better to have your own established name and your own character. You do not want to be the second coming of so-and-so. It just doesn't work out sometimes that way at all, Name me a guy that basically stepped in the same footstep of his dad and it worked out in the end. Like, literally spitting image of him with the name and all. I don't see any of them, because Rocky Maivia was the closest thing we had.
And butchered.
And that butchered bad, so he had to change his name to The Rock and had his own character.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't really see anybody else being the same.
No.
So it's a good way for him to spring off and do his own thing. Wish him the best of luck. Hopefully we'll see him in AEW ring in the near future.
I hope so.
All righty, look, any final thoughts on this? I'm gonna just give you another final thought, man. Happened on SmackDown. All right, your boy Cody cut a promo talking about Punk and Roman want to talk about measuring. Well, look, man, there's a reason why the internet calls me Cody Raheem Rhodes. My man cut that promo, and I was like, God, dude, he'd be listening to us, to the fans and the internet, calling him Raheem, he's inviting it to the cookouts, finally acknowledge it. And I thought that was pretty funny,
It was actually funny.
Yeah. As well as this, man, we did see some of the SmackDown. I did see some SmackDown. I saw Chelsea Green get pretty over in that triple threat match. I seen her get cheered on, and the fans were over on her, and yet WWE still refuses to push her.
If I was WWE right now, build one more week of the heat from the WWE Real Series and push her to the moon.
Yeah, but eventually I don't think they're ever going to do that for Chelsea Green.
She is not Tiffany Stratton.
It's unfortunate. Yeah. Overall, any final thoughts?
Guys, if you guys can understand me, I really do thank you for trying to pay attention to me. I've been sick again. Unfortunately, stupid flu. I do want to thank you guys. Thank you for having me, especially this close to you when I'm sick. I really do appreciate you guys and your patience for me having to leave. Thank you guys very, very much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the follows. Go ahead, buddy.
Alrighty, guys. With that being said, oh yeah, we'll see you next time at Windy City Savage.
Last but not least, hit that little notification. I'll let you know when we go live. Good night.